Hey y'all, welcome back to our weekly energy series. I'm Peyton and I'm joined by Corey and Yaila. And today we are bringing you your favorite video, the monthly energy update for April. Now, if y'all have seen our videos, you know that we bring you the monthly energy update from 3 different perspectives. Corey is our astrology expert and she's going to be giving us the April astrology report. Yaila, of course, reads the collective energy, and I'll share a channeled message from the Pleiadians with you to just tell us what's coming up in the month of April. So, Yaila, how would you like to start us off today?
Sounds good. Thank you. Thank you. So if you've seen the videos before, I just tap into the collective energy as we speak. So let me just tap into that super fast. Okay, and I always just like to ask for a blessing for anybody tuning into these videos, that the information healing for their highest and best good comes through, and for me to be guided for that. All right. So when I'm putting up, I like to put up a rose for the collective energy. And the first color I get is kind of like a mauve, almost like a rose pink. So let me just tap into that and see what that stands for. The biggest word they're bringing in is compassion. So energies have been stirring up lately. You might be in your own elements of that, maybe a little swirly, little transition as far as what's going on in your world. And the biggest one that the guides are bringing through is just to give yourself a little compassion for what you're working through, what you are navigating. So that's first and foremost, and just sending out some little compassion for those of you tuning in. And I always like to ask, what's helpful for us as a collective to know for the month of April? So let me just ask what is helpful for April for the collective to know. So one thing they're bringing in, feelings of disarray and feelings of things being swirly is going to continue for April. It's part of the process, letting things just kind of let the chips kind of fall where they may, so to speak, and just know that things are going to feel a little out of disarray based off of just the current energy where we're at. So let's just see what else is helpful for the collective. Okay, so something that's coming through is knowing where and when to say no. So as things are kind of in some disarray and the chips are falling where they may, you might be prompted to share where you need to say no to certain things, whether it's your own inner beliefs about certain things that just aren't serving you anymore, where you're seeing yourself go down different rabbit holes or different mind spirals. We actually have a video on mind spirals. But if you're just kind of seeing yourself being pulled into energy or situations that just are not working for you, it's completely okay to say no. No, this is not where I want to be headed. Outside things kind of intruding in, you're going to be guided to just say no to anything that is no longer working. Drawing that boundary, they're showing me just like a line in the sand as far as like, this is what I'm gonna stand for, this is what I'm not. And so we're being shown, I'm seeing just like a bright spotlight or flashlight, just really highlighting all those places that maybe we haven't checked in a while. All those places where our boundaries are being confronted and just showing it's like, hey, maybe we've been down a road before that we thought was working, and maybe now we're noticing that it's not. So letting yourself just to say no to things that are not in alignment, whether it's temporary or permanent. You're going to be confronted with situations, whether internal or external or both around that. So let me just see what else is helpful for the collective. Anything else to watch out for April 2023? They're bringing in the word as far as kindness, as far as the journey that you're on and where other people are. We can still say no with kindness. We can still say no with love. And it is for love, for the greatest good, because there are things that are switching and transmuting and changing, and it's all part of the process. And so just to have kindness and compassion, they're showing me that pink color again from the beginning of the reading, as far as like just giving yourself and other people compassion as they're learning what their boundaries are, as they're learning how to say no and understand where they need to say no, and for how long. So just keeping some kindness and compassion in the aspects of that. Let's just see if there's any last little things for the collective before we wrap out for April. The last thing they're giving me is strong. So it feels like your energies and kind of where you're focused and what you're being shown is going to feel very strong. So just know you're here, you're going to make it through, understanding where your boundaries are and understanding, just giving yourself and other people that kindness and compassion, even through some of these strong energies. And we will make it out on top. Boundaries are good. Change is good. We're all being guided to alignment. So just trust the process of, even if things look swirly and you're waiting for the chips to fall, it's all part of the process, even if it feels strong. So that's what I will leave off the collective with. Corey, how about you?
Thank you, Yaila. I love that energy report. Well, here's the astrology for April 2023. Well, March and April and May are all going to be very strong energies. So, planet is moving through what's called the photon belt, and the energy of the planet is raising. And I'm sure that you're all feeling it. So, the first half of April is Aries season. So, have you been feeling a little restless, irritable, a little fiery, maybe a little explosive? Welcome to Aries. We also have in the first half of April 3 other planets in Aries. So, Aries is the symbol of I am, the self. We're looking a lot at our own individual journeys. Aries is also the sign of the warrior, pioneering. We have a lot of warrior energy out there right now, if you haven't felt it already. And on the world stage, we're seeing a lot of the warrior energy. Lots of things going on. We're in great big changes here on planet Earth. When we had the last new moon in Aries, we were stepping into new Earth energy. And so in April, we are also going to have another new moon in Aries. So the one in March was at the 0 degrees of Aries, just entering into that new Earth energy. At the end of April, which is actually April 19th, it's going to be at 29 degrees Aries. So when we get into the degrees, the earlier degrees is the new Aries energy, fresh start. And then when we get to the later degrees, the energy is stronger on top of a solar eclipse. But first, we have a full moon in Libra, which is going to be on April 5th. On top of that, we have also the 3 planets in Aries. We have the Sun, Jupiter, and Chiron. So Chiron is the wounded healer. So if you feel a lot of old wounds or just wounds coming up, that's Chiron in Aries. And then we have the Sun, and the Sun is our life force energy. So we're all feeling very warrior-like, very stand up for ourselves type energy. We also have Jupiter in Aries. So any sign that is in Jupiter expands. So this is really big, big Aries energy, which is fire. Watch your temper. It's just a big energy moving forward into this new Earth. Aries is also connected with the root chakra, that fight or flight. The first half, basically for March, April, and May, we need to focus on, or it's a good time to focus on grounding. Get yourself out into Mother Nature. Try and keep yourself more grounded instead of embracing all of that fire energy and being explosive or warrior-like. So there's always the higher vibration and the lower vibration. And April invites us to really find the balance between warrior and the self. Full moon in Libra on April 5th, Libra rules the scales of justice and the law and balance and harmony. It's ruled by Venus. So thank goodness this love energy comes in. We're seeing also in the world, we're seeing a lot of injustice, lots of injustice being called out. That Aries energy with the 3 planets says, no way. And that's what the Libra full moon is helping to bring in. Libra also rules partnership. So you might find that a nice unexpected love interest comes in. Wouldn't that be nice? Libra also rules partnership. So what's interesting is we have the energy of Aries, which is the self, and then we have the full moon in Libra, which is partnership. So we talk here a lot about doing the inner work, but also doing the inner work. So if everyone does their inner work together in partnership, we can create this new world. And we're in this new world. So this month also helps a lot to focus more on the new world and what we want to create. The full moon in Libra allows us to partner up with people who are of that like-minded, who have done the inner work. Focus on love and the new earth, because that's what, I don't know, I'd like the new earth to be more of a love frequency. So because the Aries is the fight or flight, Libra is the partnership, and they're opposite each other when we have a full moon. The polarity is I am, the difference between me or us. So we'll see a lot of that. I want to do it my way, but learning to partnership, me versus us. On this full moon in Libra, of course, all the Aries energy, watch out for your health, taking care of yourself. It's a great time to get healings, to partner up with a healer to get healings, but to also watch out for your health, because all this fire energy can burn us out. Too much fire, not enough fuel, burnout. Watching for your health, eating properly, getting enough sleep, which is hard in this energy. I know that I've had a hard time sleeping. A lot of people that I've been talking to aren't sleeping very well. And it's the energy of moving through this photon belt, the frequency of the planet raising, and all this fire energy. We also have fixed energy in the month of April, which is not budgeable. Taurus is the second half. Try to even get a bull to move, period, when it doesn't want to move. That's fixed energy. So it's not just the Taurus, but we have the fixed energy. So that unbudgeable energy is also, so it creates a little friction. Second half of April is in Taurus, and that starts April 20th. And Taurus is Earth. It represents our values, what we value, money, food. And so we're going to be feeling the energy of, what are we valuing regarding money, food. Tauruses love their food. Oh my gosh. You want to get to the heart of a Taurus? Give them food. That's why they rule the food, and Mother Earth. So we're going to be called, to ask how the way we value money, how do we value money differently, and possibly how the world deals with money. We've seen a lot of the banks collapsing, and that's that Taurus energy of money systems changing. So watch out for that. And then on the 19th of April, we have a new moon in Aries, that new moon in Aries, it's 29th degree, with a solar eclipse. And solar eclipses expand the energy, and they create these portals when we have eclipses. It's a big portal in new Earth to launch us into that new Earth, even though we're 1 foot in it already. And the eclipses expand everything, just make everything bigger. And then we have that Aries, the warrior planet, fire, big. We'll see out in the planet on Earth a lot of rebel energy, rebels against authoritarian energy, authoritarian control. And it's also sextile, which is coupled with Saturn in Pisces. So we're having Saturn in Pisces for the next 3 years. That's about building new structures. Saturn is structures. Pisces is that water. It's about also the expansion of rebel energy against authoritarian control, and also the expansion of building new structures independent of mainstream, the mainstream way in which the world operates, which is very interesting. The opportunity for creating a new Earth right now is huge. It is absolutely huge. All these energies support it. And with that Aries, of course, expanding with the solar eclipse is going to make us feel a lot more confident. Like, no, you can't push me around type energy. Again, remembering that Aries rules that root chakra. And with the solar eclipse, it's also going to be squaring, which is a challenge, Pluto in Aquarius. Even more so, rebelling against authoritarianism and control, that freedom, the technology. It'll be very interesting to see the new things coming out in technology especially around this new moon in Aries. So remember the root chakra, fight or flight, fighting for love, sovereignty, peace, harmony is, I know what I'll be doing, as opposed to fighting one another in that warrior energy of Aries is the warrior of me. I want it my way, that fixed energy. So it is an opportunity to choose what you're going to fight for, because all this Aries energy is the fight energy. So what are you going to fight for is the question I will ask you. And as I always say, stay in the love frequency. Then on the 21st, I'm almost done. The 21st, Mercury goes retrograde in Taurus. Woohoo! Our last Mercury cycle that was in Gemini was tough. Oh my gosh, it was in for 7 months. And so I think we've probably all had enough of that Mercury. But Mercury's always there. So we are going to have a retrograde on the 21st of April. And so it's always the RE words: rewind, review, renew, Taurus is ruled by Venus. We might want to spend more time with our loved ones. We might want to review our monies. We might want to have a new eating plan. How are we going to integrate healthy food into our lives? And because it's an earth sign, manifesting, making plans for what you might want to manifest when Mercury goes direct. So it's a really good energy. Also, it might be a great time to research how to grow food, how to grow your own food, how to have a garden. That might be a good way to use that energy. But regardless, March, April, and May are big, huge change energies. And so stay grounded, be conscious of your root chakra, making sure it's not blown wide open in that fight or flight, because we are walking in these new earth energies and that age of Aquarius that I've been talking about forever. Peace, love, harmony. Hang on. And just remember to go out in nature, get grounded. With the Saturn and Pisces, it's a great time to study a new spiritual practice. And be careful of escapism, because Saturn in Pisces does rule escapism, excessive drinking, drugs, things that aren't healthy for us or good for us or anybody else for that matter. So that is going to be the energy for the next 3 years. I'm sure you'll hear me talk about it a million times, on top of all the energies that we have going on March, April, May. Take care of yourself and try not to do any unhealthy escaping. So that's all I've got for April. Peyton.
Hey guys, I'm Peyton, and as you know, I channel the Pleiadians. So when I checked in with them to see what is coming up for April, they basically had two things for us. So the first thing that they wanted to share is to talk about the separating timelines. Now, this is something they've been talking about for about 2 years, where they've explained to us that we are going through a time period where those people on ascension timelines or 5D timelines are going to be separating from all of those people who are choosing not to ascend in this lifetime. Because as we know, not everyone is going to choose ascension. So they wanted to talk to those of us on the ascension timelines. And that is, of course, going to be most of the light workers and star seeds. And what they wanted us to know was that the ascension timelines are going to start to move very quickly. And that's kind of good news, because we haven't really been feeling that vibe a lot over the past 2 years. So they wanted us to know that the pace is going to accelerate. So what the Pleiadians had to say was that for those people on ascension timelines, the world is going to start to change dramatically. Those were their exact words. So something that kind of goes along with this discussion of the separating timelines is the Pleiadians wanted to remind us all, because this is something that can be confusing to our human minds, that there's not just one timeline. So they wanted to remind us that there are infinite ascension timelines. And of course, all of those timelines that are people who haven't chosen ascension in this lifetime. And the way that we choose our timeline is by paying attention to our frequency and our beliefs. So what the Pleiadians wanted us to take into consideration in April is to examine the beliefs that we have about ascension, just personally. So they encouraged each of us to just sit and ask ourselves, what do I actually believe about ascension? Do I believe that this is going to happen at all? Do I believe that this is going to happen in 50 years? Do I believe that this is going to happen tomorrow? Because they said that a lot of light workers and starseeds don't realize what they actually believe in terms of how ascension is going to play out. Because as we listen to everyone in the spiritual community and we are all watching the videos, following people on social media, we've taken in a lot of information about ascension. And so we might not realize what we actually believe. Because what their point is, and what they want us to understand, is that if you are someone who believes that this is going to take 40 or 50 years, you put yourself on that timeline. Not because it's true, but because that's your belief about it. And if you are someone who believes that this can happen tomorrow, you put yourself on a much faster timeline, only because our beliefs kind of control everything. So what they wanted us to understand in April is they encouraged us to just take a look at what we actually believe and then see if that's what we actually want to create, or if we have just been taking in other people's opinions. So that is what they wanted to share with us in April, because they said a lot of the awakened community has beliefs that they don't know they have. So April is a chance to double check yourself to make sure that what you believe is what you actually want to create. Because as they have been pointing out lately, it's going to get harder and harder to switch timelines. So as the pace of the ascension progresses, as it picks up steam, it's going to get harder to shift onto another track. So this is the time to examine what you actually believe and make any adjustments that you need to. So that was one of their first points about April and what they encourage us all to do. But the second thing they wanted to talk to us about is really kind of exciting, and that is open contact. So as y'all may know, starting in 2023, we have moved into the official window for open contact. So the Pleiadians said they have been given permission to interact openly with humanity. And that is incredibly exciting. And so they wanted to talk to us a little bit about what this means for us. So what they wanted us to understand as light workers and starseeds is that we are the ambassadors. That's what they said, that we are the bridge between the human collective and our galactic family. So they said we are the ones who are going to be helping the human collective understand that multidimensional beings, the guides, everyone that we talk about in these videos, they are our family. And so what the guide said is we have a great family reunion that is near. And to me, that sounds about as exciting as you can get. I certainly will be there. And so they wanted us to understand that we are the front runners. We are the ones who are going to be setting the pace and the example for how the rest of our collective interprets open contact, because a lot of people are going to have their reality systems pretty much turned on their heads. So they pointed out that as light workers and starseeds, we are the way showers of how to be reintegrated into our galactic family. Now, something else that they pointed out, which is kind of fun, is they said that their ships are in the skies now. And if you want to connect with them or to see them, all you have to do is ask. So when you are out on a walk, you're out running, you are hanging out in nature, you can set the intention and actually ask them to show themselves. Because the Pleiadians have been very vocal in saying that they are so excited to connect with any humans that want to connect with them. And the Arcturians have been saying the same thing. So if this is something that is of interest to you, if you are interested in connecting with your galactic family, now is the time. The door is open. But they always say they will never interfere with our free will. So we have to be the ones to extend the invitation. So if you are interested in this, this is the time to do it. They are so excited to work with humans. especially any that want to work with them. So April is going to be all about starting to learn to rejoin our galactic family. And I know that a lot of the spiritual community has been waiting a really long time for that. So April is when we are going to start to see this happen. So that sounds like something really exciting to look forward to in April. And so those are the two things that they wanted to share with us to kind of set the tone for the coming 30 days. So ladies, anything else coming up for the month of April? No? Well, thank you guys so much for watching our videos. We always appreciate you. And don't forget to share, like, follow, and subscribe to all of our channels. We are always so excited for your comments and just so grateful that you have been tuning in to us for so long. So we will see you next time. Have a good one. Bye.